The Magna Carta, signed in 1215, remains one of the most significant legal documents in history. It established principles that continue to influence modern legal and political systems. Originally intended as a means to settle a dispute between King John of England and his rebellious barons, it went on to shape the course of governance far beyond its initial purpose. During the early 13th century, King John faced considerable unrest due to his heavy taxation policies and military failures. His unsuccessful campaigns in France, particularly the loss of Normandy, led to discontent among the English nobility. To fund his military ambitions, he imposed excessive taxes, which further alienated his subjects. The barons, frustrated by the monarch's arbitrary rule, sought to limit his authority by demanding a written agreement that would secure their rights and restrict royal power. Their efforts culminated in the creation of the Magna Carta at Runnymede on July 15, 1215. The Magna Carta contained 63 clauses, addressing a range of issues, from protection of church rights to limitations on feudal payments to the monarchy. One of its most influential provisions was Clause 39, which stated that no free man could be imprisoned or stripped of his rights without the lawful judgment of his peers. This concept laid the foundation for due process, an essential component of legal systems worldwide. Another critical clause, Clause 40, declared that justice should not be sold, denied, or delayed, reinforcing the idea of fairness in governance. Although initially intended as a practical solution to a political crisis, the document gradually gained a broader significance. King John's reluctance to abide by its terms led to its annulment by Pope Innocent III, which triggered the First Barons' War. After John's death in 1216, his son, Henry III, reissued a revised version to regain support. Over the years, successive monarchs reaffirmed its principles, ensuring its place in England's legal framework. The long-term influence of the Magna Carta extends far beyond medieval England. During the 17th century, it became a reference point in the struggle between Parliament and the monarchy, particularly during the English Civil War. Figures like Sir Edward Coke championed it as a safeguard against tyranny, reinforcing the argument that rulers must obey the law. Later, in the 18th century, its principles inspired key political documents such as the United States Constitution and the Bill of Rights. American revolutionaries viewed it as a symbol of resistance against arbitrary rule, drawing upon its legacy to justify their quest for independence. Even today, the Magna Carta retains symbolic and legal relevance. While many of its original clauses have been repealed or modified, some still remain part of English law. The principles it introduced, particularly those concerning due process and limits on absolute power, continue to shape democratic governance. Courts and legal scholars frequently reference it when addressing issues of human rights and constitutional interpretation. Its impact is also evident in the development of international legal frameworks. Concepts rooted in the Magna Carta can be found in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and the European Convention on Human Rights. By establishing the idea that rulers must be accountable to the law, it set a precedent that has influenced countless legal systems worldwide. The Magna Carta is often celebrated as a cornerstone of constitutional governance, though its initial purpose was far more limited. It did not create democracy as we understand it today, nor did it immediately grant widespread freedoms. However, its enduring legacy lies in the way it challenged the notion of absolute monarchy and promoted the rule of law. Over time, it helped shape the legal and political traditions that continue to define modern societies. Despite being over 800 years old, the principles of the Magna Carta remain relevant. Governments and legal institutions still draw upon its ideas to reinforce the importance of fairness, accountability, and justice. While its direct legal authority has diminished, its influence persists in the ongoing development of legal protections and constitutional principles around the world. By affirming that no one is above the law, it sets a standard that remains fundamental to the functioning of modern democratic institutions.